fucking name. Hey, what's up, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome back to stream, and welcome back to Alandressa with the Gouda guys. The party have decided on their name, I think. I don't know whether everybody's fully agreed on it yet, but it seems like everyone's good with it. The cheese-based adventurers. So, we are going to get Steve showing up shortly on his way in from work. Will be joining as soon as possible. But for the time being, we have got Mars, Tats, Katie, Shen, and B. How's everybody doing today?
Hello, hello.
Still alive.
Still alive. We love that. That's a great way to start in. And speaking of still alive, guess who came back from the dead last session? Oh, LaCoy, the Sandman himself. Yeah. Let's have a bit of a recap, shall we? Last session, we'd just resolved the week of downtime that you guys had when you leveled up. And one of the main investigative things that Steve's character Victor had wanted to do was to try and make head or tail of some of this, the murder of a friend, the coercion of an old acquaintance from the orphanage that he grew up in, and where all of this lies and why you guys are all involved. Also, to try and figure out what it is that's going on in the neighbouring nation of Highfall. Why are so many people heading towards their border? And what exactly are their code words that they're all saying to each other? Why is it that these people are saying something and saying something in response? You moved over towards that boundary wall with Highfall, and you saw that there is a new fortification there with stonework and guards and all of this nonsense that was not there when Steve's character Victor got there before. The curiosity lies in, for one, where did that all come from? Two, why are they guarding it so well? And three, why are people being turned away if they don't know this specific wording? None of those have got answers yet, but you did figure out what the code was. It was, they would say, it's that time of year, and your answer would be when the hollow dance and cheer. And that would be the code word to get you through. The border got closed the moment that the last person stepped across the line, and you all got to this area, which is a snowy forest region, which had a nice bonfire in the middle, and let's get a nice little thing going. There you go, look at that. Oh, isn't that great? You had a nice bonfire in the middle, and you were surrounded by all kinds of other people. There was even a zombie guy who was very friendly to you, who dropped his eye on the ground and had to try and pick it up. And it was his tongue, wasn't it? His tongue fell out of his mouth, and he had to try and pick it up. And his eyes dropped out of his skull, so he couldn't see it very well on the ground. And once you'd all finished speaking to this person who was appearing in a reflection in the sky above you, they agreed that yes, the Sandman should come back to life, as was the purpose of this festival. And by doing so, they uttered the words, it's that time of year, and you all replied with when the hollow dance and cheer. And they responded when the hollows scream in fear. And licks of flame came out, scorched all of the people around the fire but you guys, and the flames in the bonfire erupted and were immediately extinguished, with the newly brought to life Olokoi in the center. Olokoi is the Sandman, of course. Let me just get the token artwork for everybody again so that you can see Olokoi one more time. This older person with a beaky nose and a pointy chin and pattern baldness with grey hair and a crooked back. He wears socks, but they don't seem to make any impact in the floor that he walks on, and he carries 2 umbrellas. One of them red and one of them blue. That is where we were up to last time. Now that you are stood in this clearing, and that the guy has appeared in front of you, is there anything in particular that any of you guys are thinking of doing?
I'm gonna hope that he's not
I
gonna
believe
be
we were
too
also in
mad.
nighttime, by the way. So I'm just going to revert it back to nighttime.
Alrighty. Was it an hour? Because I used my special thing, remember?
It had not been an hour, no. It had probably been about, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Okay, so we should still all be able to see if I remember correctly.
Yes, you would be able to still see. I mean, you can see because you've got dark vision permanently. Other people that you've granted it to would only be able to see for the next about 40 minutes.
Okay.
Briar can also stack onto that at the end of yours and add hers, because I have that ability too.
Yes, because you're both part of the same order of clerics.
We're now twinsies.
Fancy magic people.
So in terms of doing things,
Should we say hello
Yeah.
to him?
Saying anything, doing anything, what do your
Yeah.
characters do in this moment?
Ruby,
Remember, if you
Ruby
don't
will
say
want
what you're
to
doing, then
go.
you're not doing anything.
Ruby will want to go up to him and apologize for instigating the fight and well, go up to him and apologize. That's what she's planning on doing anyway.
I'm going to be a little ginger because I'm pretty sure he was probably most pissed off with me.
He's got these umbrellas in his hand that have appeared in his hands as he arrived back, and he's kicking off the dust and knocking them off against his feet. He feels around his person, and a little ferret creature comes out from underneath his top and sort of runs around his neck and back underneath his top again.
As Ruby comes up to him, gives him a second to, check himself over. She looks at him and says, I want to apologize for my part in your untimely death and for not recognizing when you were trying to leave. And as she says this, she bows her head in respect.
Give me a persuasion check.
That's a good persuasion.
He turns towards you. The last of his movements are to collect out of his sort of like almost an invisible pocket. There's clearly no pockets on his clothes, but he's putting things in and out of wherever it is. Like some kind of, like a little miniature portal at his side. And he pulls out this bag of sand that he starts pouring into his hand. He pours it out into the ground, and you see a big swirling vortex appears in the ground that he starts stepping down into, as if it's a staircase. He, at his last moment, flicks a little bit up into your direction and says, "I'll be seeing you." And he's gone. The vortex of sand settles down into a snowy landscape again, and you are left in the dark in more ways than one. Welcome in, Steve.
Ruby doesn't say anything and just joins the group back. Assuming that they would have seen that anyway, so she doesn't need to explain.
Yeah. Anybody else with any actions? Anything you would want to say?
You said he's
As
gone, right?
he was like disappearing, Aldrin would have said, just to make sure before he was gone quickly, apologies, Mr. Dreamkeeper. We didn't mean it. We were just really confused and wanted to help those kids.
I would let you have a persuasion check as well.
Alrighty. Persuasion. Start.
Okay. What is everybody's immediate reaction at this point? You have brought the Sandman back to life. You have survived this awful ritual. The night is still dark. There's a new moon in the sky where, there's
Oh,
it's sort of a waning, what is it? It's a waxing moon where it's sort of like a crescent. It's starting to build up again from being a dark, dark moon.
I know this is gonna sound wrong, but can we loot the bodies? Or did they just disappear?
Everything that they were wearing and carrying
They
was
turned
turned
to
to
ash.
ash as well. Yeah. They were burned to a crisp in
Right.
front of you, yeah. You could collect the ashes, but yeah, I don't know if you want that.
I just hold on to ash. I've captured the ash, my ash.
Yes, your ash. The ash.
Our ash.
The bird ash. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Aldrin's
Spooky.
gonna go around and try and pick
Luigi.
up like a vial of each of the
Luigi.
person's ashes.
Mm-hmm. Go for it. You can add that to your inventory.
Will do.
Yeah, you just... I don't know if you're able to just make an item.
Yeah,
Are you
I
able to
can
make
make
an item?
an item.
Yeah, just do that. That's fine. And add it to your notes or whatever. But yeah, that all happens. And what are your last intentions for the end of this evening? Are you aiming to go somewhere in particular? Are you aiming for a long rest? Are you just going to weigh out the night? What's happening now that you're in Highfall?
I'm under the impression that we should just come away from here and maybe set up a camp for the rest until morning.
Any other takers?
I'm sorry, there's currently a hype train going on in my channel, so I'm a little distracted.
GG. Good job on the hype train. Nice.
It's just, he's being super sweet right now.
Love that.
Another idea, let's get on the train.
Yeah, we all get on board.
We take the train to the next town, or we can rest at an inn.
Hey, you great people! If you've received a gifted sub in Ash's channel, in Tats's channel, then you should say thank you to the person who gave it to you.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for supporting Tats. Tats is an amazing person who deserves all of the good things. Then if you guys are wanting to move away and make a camp, nobody else is saying anything against that, I'm going to say that maybe we just set up a camp. Is that what you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, with
Yep, that sounds good.
with no dark vision, I'm pretty much stuck.
Yeah. Would you be heading back over the border, or would you be staying where you are in Highfall?
I think we should maybe head back a ways at least.
Like back towards the border wall?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How far are you wishing to get back towards it? Are we talking, like 200 feet, 100 feet, or like a mile? Where are we staying away from this place?
I would think, like, maybe further back the path we came to get here.
Yes, but by how far? How far are you staying away from the border wall?
Well, I'm just saying the direction that I'm
Yeah.
suspecting. I'm throwing it out there that other people may have to chime in on how far.
The guards that were there to get us in, would they still be there?
They might be, yeah.
Hmm.
You'd have to go and have a look.
I'm not really the
That's something
stealthiest,
else,
so-
though, guys. We might not want to go back yet because they say nobody never comes back. Might be weird if we show up.
Hmm. Is there another way out of this place? Excuse me.
You would need to explore. Take in the sights, see exactly, you know, where you are and what the area is. The best that you've seen so far is the border entrance that you came through. And you know the way back to that, even in the dark, because it's a trampled route that many people have taken. But you can guarantee that if it snows or if the wind blows, then you're going to end up losing that path.
Are there
but
any
it's-
other trampled paths leading away from
Not from
any
this
other
area,
side
no.
of here?
Not from this area. People in this
Okay.
area were coming here for this festival in particular, and it's just this
Yeah.
one part of the nation.
Okay. Aldrin gonna say to, like, here, if that helps.
So are we exploring then?
Because this is the path, right?
I don't know. Only
Go
two people
back?
have been talking so far, so I'm waiting for everybody else to chime in with what they want
Can
to
I
do.
try a perception check to see for just to make
Ruby,
sure?
Briar, and Ash, I'm waiting for your input on what the party wants to do. And Victor has disappeared, so I'm guessing that he's having
He
problems
said
with
his Discord was playing up. Yeah.
Right, yeah, there you go.
Ruby doesn't have a strong opinion, so it's just going with the party's
Can I do
democratic
a
decision.
Same with Briar.
I have no idea where
Okay.
I am.
Can I do a survival check to kind of see if I see tracks leading from any other direction? Or leading off to any other
Aldrin
direction?
just did that. Aldrin just asked. It's plainly clear that there aren't any.
Oh, okay.
People were just heading here for the festival, and that was it.
For some reason, Steve's attached to my my token.
You all have ownership on it. If you select both of them at the same time, then you will be moving both of them at the same time. You just need to
Oh,
unclick
okay.
and then
Yeah,
click
but
your own
I do
token.
this, and he goes like that.
Yeah,
I didn't click him. I didn't click him at all.
we'll just delete you. Yeah. So it's really up to you guys how close to the wall that you are at the moment. You want to get. Basically, you're about half a mile away from the wall. This didn't go very far into the boundary of Highfall. It's far enough in that you wouldn't necessarily be able to see it from the outside. So it was well shrouded by the trees, by the terrain, by the contours of the hills. It's enough that you would be shrouded from the outside world if you wanted to do something private. But you are still only about half a mile away. So it's up to you how close to the wall you want to get. This is what I'm trying to get at. How close to the wall do you guys want to get?
I would if there are still if we think there might be guards there, is it a good idea to be that much in the open?
Aldrin's gonna say about halfway to it.
Alright, so about a quarter of a mile away from the wall. Is everybody else in agreement with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okie dokie. I think that it would be a good idea for us to have another encounter check while we're here. Let's see if we can find who else might be here in the area with you guys. Let's see where I've put it. Where have I put the roles for encounters? Need to find. There it is. There it is. Okay. I've sort of like rearranged my Word document so that I can keep a few things just, you know, as like good headings to remind me for things. And I accidentally moved something where it shouldn't have gone. Right, so we're going to roll a d10. Okay. All right. You all see the stout fairy walking along again, grumbling to himself about how he's only managed to find a tiny tusk this time from an orc. I'm not very happy about this. Why am I always getting the terrible things? Can I not just get something good at long last?
What terrible thing?
Oh, it's you people again. Do you have any
Hello.
teeth for me? Please tell me this big one. He points over to
hello
Victor.
again.
He points to Victor. Please tell me this one wants to give me his tusks. I really want to get these tusks.
I think he's holding on to him for now.
Well, if you ever become dissuaded from that, please let me know. I would really much like to take them off your... Well, not your hands, you know what I mean, but I really want them. They would do great things. I could do great things.
I'm sure he'll let you know if that ever comes around.
That would be fantastic. But for now, I've got this little small thing. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. I got it from some place with kids in it. One of the kids had put it under their pillow. I guess I gave him a copper piece. Copper means nothing to me. I'm looking for teeth. I like the teeth. Anyway.
Well, the child will enjoy the copper.
Perhaps. Better than what I could do with it. No one wants to serve fairy folk around here. You need the teeth.
Maybe you could make that a deal. You leave a copper for a tooth.
That's what I did. I can't go up on my prices, though. I've only got so much. I need to go and find some more kids so that I can maybe punch a tooth out of their face. You know what I mean? I'll go and do that, maybe.
Well, how about
sports players?
Do they have to be like human-esque teeth?
I want an orc tooth.
So go to an old orc home. See if there's any of them that are, you know, getting off of this mortal coil, so as they say. And just, yank one of their teeth.
He stops where he stood, having been convinced of something, and looks towards you. You know, you give me an idea. That's good. That's real good. I like that. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. I should start grave robbing. I can get as many teeth as I want. I love this. That's a great idea. Thank you so much. He flies up north. He keeps going north.
Just be careful. Sometimes that can get you in trouble.
He goes north and you see him disappear off into the darkness. His fairy dust sort of tinkling behind him. Sounds almost like it's tiny teeth that are glowing in the moonlight, instead of glitter. So
Ruby wants to put an arm around Ash's shoulder and just says, "Ash, maybe don't give advice about teeth as an individual who doesn't have to part from their own. You don't quite know how attached people are to them."
If I had teeth, I would have given him one. But
Yeah,
I was just saying, like, the old folks, like, they lose their teeth, right?
yeah.
That's all I meant.
They're still quite important, Ash. There's maybe a reason none of us have given up our teeth. That's all I'm saying.
But
And Ruby just wanders off.
Oh man.
Well, it's not
Maybe if
And
they're
Ruby
old and
internally-
wiggly, but people still need them until they don't. You got a point that graves don't need them.
You all head over and you keep walking as you keep talking, and you eventually get to a point where it's a nice part of the land where the terrain is going to protect you from the wind and from the weather. You think that you might be able to make a camp here off the beaten path without losing sight of the beaten path. so that you can still find your way back to the border wall if that's what you choose to do in the morning. What would be your routine now as you're starting to go around and make your camp together?
Fire first.
Okie dokie. So with that, you do create a nice small light source. It's shrouded by trees, and you're far enough away from the path that people can't necessarily see it without trying to. But you do get this nice campfire set up. You've done this quite a few times now that you guys have been traveling together for probably a couple of months at this point. What do you think would be each person's role within the camp? Is there someone who goes out and gets the wood for the fire? Does someone help put the tents together? Do you even use tents, or do you just use bedrolls in the open? What's the plan? Is there someone who's getting the cheese and cooking cheese over the fire? What's the deal here?
I mean, I've got an axe, so pretty sure I'll be good at the wood part.
Ruby has cooked utensils. She likes to cook, so she will be melting the cheese. She also works in a dairy,
Nice.
so she's going to know how to
Nice.
handle her cheese.
So the Gouda guys begin the work of putting together a camp. Welcome back again, by the way, Steve. Hope that your Discord's not giving you too much of a discordant evening.
No, it sounds fine now. It was just you all sounded like evil robots.
Oh, no.
I've had that before.
Secretly,
no,
we
you
are.
found our
I hate to
plot.
tell it. I hate to tell you.
Yeah.
The whole time, big
Yeah.
campaign reveal. Everyone's a robot.
Just IRL we are. This is the Truman Show. We're all paid actors. paid robots.
Jack's
AI.
totally Pain. He's part robot.
Yeah. It's the Viper part. The Viper is the robot tail. Okay. So
Also,
as you're
I
all...
had just twigged fondue friends. Has someone suggested fondue friends yet?
I did.
That's
Earlier.
nice.
Yeah, I
think,
just
didn't
twigged
I?
it. I was
Oh,
like,
oh no,
cheese.
fromage friends.
She's
I said
making
fromage
fondue.
friends.
Fromage
said
friends.
from-
I was
I said
assuming a fondue
fromage
friends.
friends.
I said
You said
scalding
fondue.
fondue.
Yeah.
It's
Scalding
not the
fondue.
Fiends.
It
I
was just
said the scald
fondue
6.
fiends. It was making me giggle as well because of melting cheese and melt. I'm having
Yeah.
a great time thinking about
Melt.
fondue over here, guys. I'll shut up now.
Yeah. I think that you guys are always going to go around in circles, never picking an answer because there's too many cheese puns that you could do.
How about just cheese crusaders then?
I mean, that's never been on the table, but this is what I'm saying, is that it's just adding more to it. You're just putting more and more cheese in. This is a cheese blend. This is what happens on a good pizza, that you get so much fucking cheese that
A
just
margarita mob.
becomes... Yeah, it becomes so slick that you just
The
slide all of
monster
these ideas
monsters.
off of it. Right.
Uh,
Fucking hell,
Is it
Jesus
feather?
Christ.
It can be a sticky situation.
Oh, right.
They all
As
said
you
it
guys
was fun.
are, as you guys are
Rhyme
making
weavers.
camp, as you guys are making camp, you see that there are more of the sensors appearing in front of you, as there have been before. That now, instead of there being some, what's the word? Instead of there being some city populace that these scrying sensors and screens are appearing in front of around you, you only see them now in the center of your camp. Seems like there is another message coming through from Ox, as you see Ox stood there in the reflection of this thing. Again, I'll show you the artwork for Ox, and he says this: I hope that whatever you find yourselves doing, that you have a most peaceful day. It is with deep regret that I must inform you of the passing of a linchpin of our society. The Shield Lumina is being disbanded, as their leader was found beheaded in their quarters on board the Heimdall, sailing the Hera Sea. The unmanned ship had drifted into port. It is unknown how long they had been this way, but those with links to the organization lost word from her 9 days ago. For those unaware, Giselle Brie was the lead academic who led the Shield Lumina from the ethereal plane, or Alfheim as it is better known, and was responsible for the balance in the weave of magic we see around us. It seems her passing may have been linked to 2 recent murders of Sir Curly Strand and Big Red, as she was also a member of the group responsible for preventing Ragnarok. She left no kith or kin, and her ship will remain moored at the Resonant Cove shipyards in the ethereal plane for those who wish to pay their respects to her passing. One thing is known. Without her lead, we can be sure that in the time to come, we will see a deterioration in our arcane abilities. We may even return to a time when our power to control the world around us waxes and wanes with the moon as before. The 6 fugitives wanted for questioning over Sir Curly and Big Red are now needed more than ever for questioning, and we sincerely hope you will reach out if you know anything of their whereabouts. Similarly, we are also still on the lookout for the Acolytes of the Hollow. Knowledge of their numbers and motives eludes us, but we are in dire need of both. Please be careful. Our safety cannot be guaranteed in other planes of existence. Think on your allegiances. If you are hiding these fugitives, please bear in mind the senseless violence that they have been linked with. I send my ever-enduring love to you all. Goodbye for now.
Well, that escalated quickly.
That's not good. That's 3 down.
Yes, there's one left.
Is it?
We've got to figure out who this one is.
Or is it?
I mean, do we turn ourselves in and talk to him about it and then find out who the 4th one is so we can protect them?
I think that's best. They're gonna
Yes.
know that group. He's gonna know that group. I
And
think
then
we
we
need
can
to get
somehow prove that we didn't do it.
Yes, and
Yes,
then
I think
with any luck, we won't be bothered by town's
How we
guards and
gonna
such.
prove it?
They have magic and ways to tell.
We do?
Isn't magic getting a bit unreliable at the moment?
Maybe they
I
can
think
call on
death
Merlin.
is becoming unreliable in the moment.
And other than circumstantial evidence, I don't think there's any hard proof that it was us. So if we turn ourselves in, it will put us in good stead, I think.
So where do we go to do that?
Was he based in Dreidel? I can't remember.
Would any of us know where the guy's from?
You'd remember
Yeah.
from the last time that he spoke that he said that he was investigating in Dreidel, but there's no guarantee that he would still be there. He did also say one more thing. If you can get a history check on a nat 20, I will tell you what the answer is. That's a 5.
Me.
I can't
That's
get
a
that
3.
20.
You ready? Here we go, guys.
That's
can't
a
get it anywhere
6. That's a
near.
14. That's a 21.
Damn it.
Woohoo!
Oh, it's not a nat 20 though.
Oh, it's not
So
that.
close.
I would remind you on the 21, just for the fact that it's a dirty 20, I would remind you that he did say in the last announcement where it is that he lives.
This is where I regret that my notebook is not with me at present. It
This
is in
is
my
why
home, and I'm not in my home.
inability at good
Mine looks
note-taking.
like the inside of my brain, so it might take me a while to find it.
Mine just slipped off like cheap melted cheese.
So, you know that 3 of the protectors of Ragnarok are now dead, and that there is one left that you don't know who they are or where they are. You also know that this particular person is somebody who died in a different plane of existence. And you know where, essentially, the crime scene is being kept.
Well, I hope it's not that little guy we left behind in the room with the frogs.
That frogman?
Yeah,
There was yes, on
the
the
mayor.
Alistair Penrose.
Was that the mayor? Yes, that was the mayor, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
You mean-
technically he was a gnome, but he was a frog.
You mean the place with the 4 chests?
He
and
was
clearly one
certainly
belongs to
in-
Sir Kimberly.
The
Yeah,
4
anyways.
points. The 4
Where did
points.
this ship come into harbor? Did the ship
It's
with
what
the
he said
dead
was that the unmanned ship drifted into port.
so he didn't say
That-
which city. I didn't think
that-
so.
That wasn't the ship that we took care of because that one was
We
destroyed.
blew it up.
Yes,
That's
yes,
a
there
different
was-
ship. Yeah.
Yes.
The one that you had, the one that you destroyed was called the
Wait.
Final Promise. The one that this person was on was called the Heimdall.
Was that the ship that other person was on that sailed away?
I think that's the ship we blew up.
Yeah, the Final Promise.
Yes.
This is just an idea, but why don't we find Merlin? Hopefully, they can tell us whereabouts we need to go, and because he's got multiple houses that kind of link around the place, doesn't he?
Yes, that's what he told us. We could find the nearest city, and presume he has a tower there.
And then maybe we could find out the one closest to where the port is.
This is a good idea, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I assume they've got like newspapers in this universe or something, right?
Besides Kashala Port, the next city over would be the White Scar.
And we'd know that, I assume, right?
Yeah. The other place that you could go is south to Gorizont, which is the place bordered off by the Fairy Godmother. And then north would be a long walk to Dreedle. If you stayed in Highfall, there is a city on the frozen lake. Jorgen's Lake. But you'd have to go very far north for that.
I would veto the godmother's the fairy godmother's area.
Gorizont, yeah.
We can't go there.
All right.
No, I just vetoed.
I think
Sorry.
whichever city
Just
is
check.
closest might be our best bet. I feel like time is of the essence.
That would
So-
be back
If
at
Merlin is there, then
Kashala
we can
Port.
travel. But Merlin didn't have a tower at Kashala Port, did he?
He did not.
Oh well, I mean the next city with.
White Skull.
That would be the
Merlin
White
House.
Scar.
Let's go to the White Scar then, I think, is
Okay. Are you
Best
guys
option.
going to be traveling through the night, or are you going to continue making camp and have a long rest here?
Aldrin needs 4 hours for a long rest.
do we need a rest? I think
Won't
it's
we
probably
get
best.
exhausted if we don't?
Yes.
Yes, I think we would be best
I mean,
to
a rest would
get
allow
some
me
rest
to
before we
fill
head
up my rings.
I wondered if you would remember about that.
then we will sleep.
Okay.
Okay.
I
I
think the
will-
rest is in order.
I'll take first watch.
Okay.
Um,
Who's going to
I
sleep
will-
first?
I'll do first watch with you.
Aldrin's gonna rest for 4 hours meditating and then be on watch.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and,
And then
sleep,
who's
and
gonna
then I'll
sleep
take
first?
second.
Okay, so you're sleeping first. And then Ruby and Briar.
I will sleep and take second with Ash.
And then Ruby.
Ruby will wake up early in the morning and sort of join Aldrin.
Okay. So then you're going to sleep first.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's already covered, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just arranging all of you into order that I could remember where, like, who's sleeping when. That's why I'm moving you around. So if you're meditating immediately, but you're going to be waking up later, then I just moved you down here so I could remember that you're going to get up early. Okie doke. So Ruby, Ash, and Briar. Briar, what do you think that you would be dreaming of or thinking of as you go to sleep?
I'm not exactly sure. Um, I feel kind of out of sorts because I missed last week, so
The events of the day, or the fact that,
yeah.
you've brought Olakoi back and you feel good about it, or that you feel bad for killing him in the first place? Just sort of general vibe.
I feel like I have mixed feelings about bringing him back and killing him. Um, Mixed feelings about both, not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
Struggling with my emotions there. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I guess maybe a little bit of unrestful sleep, maybe some tossing and turning because I'm experiencing some turmoil there.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay.
Also I remember having that conversation 2 sessions ago with nobody, and um that has me kind of like really deep in thought as well. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe thinking of that, that's probably going to be pretty prominent in my mind as well.
Yeah. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Why can I not click that? Oh, there we go. Normal?
Yeah. You drift off and you think about the events that have passed, and you're feeling better about some things and worse about others. You're concentrating on the conversations that you'd had with nobody, and you see the twilight stars and constellations are appearing in those twinkling lights as you drift off to sleep. Those constellations stay with you as you go through your dreams, and they are dreams. You have good, restful sleep. They pass uneventfully. Nobody appears to you and tries to make you a friend or anything like that. Um, and yeah, you wake up feeling refreshed. Ash, what do you think you would be dwelling on, thinking on as you go off to sleep?
I would probably be nervous about the turning ourselves in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also feeling relieved that we brought Olakoi back and hopeful that Death will leave us alone since we brought him back.
Okay. Um, give me a wisdom save. You think on these things as well, and now that you are coming to a point of joining your new cleric order of Twilight with your um, similar circle of the of druid that you are able to combine those more and more as the days progress, and you're starting to learn this extra facet of your being. And as these two start to blend, you notice that where the trees meet the sky, there really isn't that much to see at night. That those things sort of blend into one, and it gives you the beautiful vision of how nature and the firmament and the skies above and the ground below are really just a continuation of one thing into another. There is no barrier, there is no barricade, everything is one, and you feel more at one with everything. And you have a restful sleep, and you wake up in the morning feeling refreshed, as Briar did. Ruby, what do you think that you're dwelling on? What's going through your mind as you go to sleep? Oh, hi, blood!
After having come face to face with what claim themselves to be a god, Ruby will be casting their mind to their patron, and
Mm-hmm.
in more of like a more like meditative style state, which is what she's familiar with as being a monk,
Yeah.
sort of trying to, I guess, reconnect is the wrong word. Refocus on
Right.
her patron.
Okay. All right then. So give me a wisdom saving throw, please. Okie dokie. Why have I given you 3 potions? I didn't mean to give you 3 potions. By the way, Blood in the chat has just redeemed potions for all, so everybody is now receiving 2 free potions of healing.
Thank you.
So I'm just popping those into everybody's inventories while I remember, and for some reason it's giving all of you 3 automatically. I'm not giving you 3 automatically. That's not the redeem. You get 2 automatically, and you can like it. Yeah.
We appreciate the 2.
It might
Do
be because we
appreciate
already
it
have
too.
some. I seem to. Oh, maybe you've
No,
already done
some
me.
of
I was about
you,
to have 2.
some of you don't have any, and it's appearing as 3 on every single person's sheet. So we're just gonna figure that shit out. Also, it's not Blood, it's Giddy. Hey, Giddy.
Giddy.
Hope you're doing well. Everybody who doesn't know Giddy needs to go find this motherfucker and give them a follow. Okay. So, Briar had a lovely restful night. Ash had a lovely restful night. Ruby, you're dwelling on... Tell me again.
Refocusing on their patron after coming
Okey
face
doke.
to face with what claims to be another god.
Okay. You start to think about these things. You imagine these dark tendrils. You imagine them reaching up and grabbing the bird creatures. You imagine the muffled screams of the guards as they disappeared. You imagine the striking of a deal to keep everybody safe and well and try and keep the balance, but not realizing that it would set things off balance again. And you have a restful sleep that's not interrupted by your patron. But there's something different to it. Like when you wake up in the morning, there was something that happened which you couldn't quite remember if you tried. Just something happened in your dream and you can't remember exactly what it was. But you wake up feeling rested nonetheless. And again, you don't have any contact with your patron. Aldrin, what do you think that you would be meditating on as you go into your 4 hours of restful meditation?
Certainly thinking about the events that just occurred and watching all of what just happened, you know, bring like us killing him, realizing who he was,
Yeah.
and then bringing him back. Just sort of thinking about like how could we have really made that mistake? Like I wanted to talk to the guy, but he just wouldn't stop for a minute.
This is the guy they're talking about, by the way, the Sandman. He's from an old English folk tale.
Also
His
thinking
name is
about
Olokoi.
those vials of ashes of people. And if there's a way to like give them a burial that from that, or I don't know, just like give them some peace from
that. Okay. Give me a wisdom save, please.
Alright. Okay. Yeah, wisdom. Wisdom is a thing. Hey!
A nat 20. Nice.
Holy shit! We got lucky.
For a nat 20, what would you like your dream to be resolved with? Imagine it's a lucid dream, and you can do whatever you like in that dream. With a nat 20, I'll let you have a lucid dream.
Aldrin's probably wandering through this dream with these vials and trying to figure out what is the proper way to give them some reverence and respect and to let these ashes move on, but also probably just pondering about if Olakoi is doing okay. after going through all of what just happened too.
Okay. You are in this forest clearing, but it's not nighttime. It's almost like while you're meditating, things just snapped and suddenly it's day. And there's less snow on the ground. It's almost like a light dusting. Like the snow has barely even touched this region yet. There's still grass and there's still daisies and there's lovely fronds of palms coming down from taller trees that have yet to be cut down. And there's no sort of, you know, that scent of burning that you get on the air when something's been long smouldering nearby. That's a scent that you only realise now that you've been smelling the whole time that you have been in Highfall, and it's only just really now registered in your mind that that's what that smell was. And as you are walking through this lovely place, barefoot, toes in the grass, only feeling a little bit of cold from the snap of each of these snowflakes on the ground, one of the trees next to you, almost like it was a curtain of fabric, what looks like a blade at first stabs out of it and slides down and makes it look like the whole thing was just fabric. And out steps, holding the supposed blade, which was in fact an umbrella, Olokoi. I hear you have questions about me.
Oh, hello. Are you alright?
I'm alive.
There.
Will that be all?
Well, I have a question about these as well. And Aldrin holds up the vials in their dream. These are the ashes of those people? Uh, how can I give them rest?
I think it is the wrong Olokoi you are speaking with. Perhaps you wish to speak with my brother.
I'm not so sure he wants to see me.
Oh, he very much wants to see you.
Oh, well, that's a fair point. Well, I suppose in a pleasant manner for myself. I, it wouldn't go so well, I suppose. Um, but yeah, probably is a question for him.
Then my brother you will speak with.
Oh.
He is busy. He is not the sort to be pulled upon from wherever he is.
It
So it's
wasn't
really
my
getting my throat.
intent, sir.
But I will ask that he seek you out at his earliest convenience. Oh. I suppose he must really need to speak with you because he just dropped all the souls he was carrying and is headed this way now. I will step away. And he steps back through this fabric that sort of had opened up in the tree. It closes behind him and it just looks like it's a tree again. It just looks like you're in three-dimensional ground again.
Yeah, Aldrin just kind of waves and goes, "Be well."
The wind whips up and you think you can hear a whisper behind you. What do you want to do?
Aldrin is gonna just kind of hold on to these vials just a little bit tighter, take a deep breath, and turn around, kind of keeping their eyes down a little bit.
There's nothing behind you.
Oh. Aldrin's gonna turn back around, expecting to be scared the living daylights out of.
There's nothing in front of you.
That's interesting too.
Maybe I'm not making myself clear. There's nothing behind you, and there's nothing in front of you. You're
Which
surrounded
level of
by
nothing
death.
are we talking about?
You're
Oh.
surrounded by death on all sides, and it is nothing. Nothing is everywhere. You get a strong sense that you are surrounded by the void. And a voice comes from it. Aldrin.
Hello.
You sought me.
Yes, sir. I was wondering if there was any way I could give some peace and rest to these ashes here. And, Mr. Dream Olakoi told me that, you were the one to speak with.
He is right. What rest do you wish to give them?
Just some peace and thanks because, you know, they helped us bring him back.
Why do you seek this?
Why wouldn't you want that for people?
People receive what rest they earned in life. Rest is not yours to give.
Well, I suppose.
Do you wish to know where they all are now?
For them.
Do you wish to know where they are?
That's a big question. Yes.
Instantly, the whole sky falls, smacks into the ground, and you feel like you've been turned 180 upside down. You are now stood on what looks to be the ceiling to a large, dark, cobweb-covered vault in a deep cavern somewhere so incredibly cold that words don't do it justice. And you look up at the ground below you and see this enormous spider's web that spreads across the entire floor there. It goes in all dimensions, not even just 3, 4th and 5th dimensions too, looping into itself and out of itself in all aspects. And there are souls trapped everywhere. But there's a fresh batch. They are burning. They are screaming. And you recognize every one of them. The smouldering smell of their flesh and the ichor of their insectoid bodies reaches you at the top of this cave. Is there anything that you want to take a look at while you're here? I will give you 2 things that you can look at before this vision ends. What would you want to see?
Is there any kind of creature or signs of a being that's creating these webs?
Yes. And what's the next question?
And then, does it seem like other souls are in torment as well, or like they have calmed over a time, or are calming at all from whatever torment may have afflicted them?
There are 2 beings that you can see that are not enthralled in this web. Besides Death, who you can only hear next to you.
Mm-hmm.
One of whom is in all of the cracks of the walls. Like it surrounds the whole place. It is the walls. It is a part of this place. Like it has found its way into the fabric of this chamber, of this plane of existence, and is as much a part of it as it is a part of the being. You don't see its shape or form. You only sense its presence. And when you look into every dark place, you have a strong, strong instinct to look away. The other being that you see walking around just looks like any regular guy. They look like they're a halfling. They have pointed ears. They dress in red. They have some kind of silken scarf. But all of it looks old and withered and damp and torn. But it's certainly a person. They're walking up to many of these beings who are trapped and engaging them in conversation. Which one of those two would you like to know more about, having seen them? And I will give you that information, and then you will wake up.
I think the halfling being.
Okay.
My brain says we may encounter him in the world, and while this being would still be here, so I
He
might need
walks
more
up.
knowledge of him.
He walks up to someone that clearly looks like they're zombified, like they've come here as just a new being into this realm, and they are on fire, but they seem like they're just dealing with it quite well. Like, they don't really have much of the, if you can call this flesh, since it is their ethereal being, it is their soul. They still have parts of it torn away, probably from years of just uncare at being undead. You get the sense that this is the zombie guy who was at the feast. And he's burning still, but he's taking it all quite well. And the guy in red walks up to him and says, "Oh, hi there. I'm Sama. I could do you a deal if you want. Do you want a deal? I could do you a really good deal." And that's basically what you get. Death whispers in your ear, in both ears simultaneously, saying, "Whatever you do with this ash is not going to change how restful they are. Whatever respect you might wish to give them, I would do so by emptying the ash at the nearest flowing water source, as is the
Thank you,
custom."
sir. That's my answer then.
I will collect your soul and that of your friends. But you went to lengths to bring my brother back, and that will not be forgotten.
Thank you, sir.
You wake up from your meditation, and you are back with the group. Now that you've all woken up, Ruby, Ash, Briar, Aldrin, we accelerate forwards. The 4 hours difference between it, obviously, is now resolved. Aldrin, you are with Victor and Isabel, and the rest of you wake up to see this all together. What do you think that Aldrin would have said? What do you think that Victor and Isabel would be doing while the rest of them were resting? What's going on at the moment?
Aldrin would give a happy little info dump.
Okie dokie.
And
So you tell Victor and
explain-
Isabel everything, and then you tell the rest of them when they wake up as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's a lot. Are you okay, Aldrin?
I'm a little stunned,
It's
but
very
I
intense.
think I need to find the nearest flowing water source soon.
Okay, I'm sure there'll be something on the way. There's a lot of snow here, so I would imagine at some point there'll be running water.
But he's certainly going to come for us, but he will remember what we did, so that's good. But quite the conversation, quite the whole happening, really. Everything going on there, and who's that guy, and what's he offering? There's a lot of more questions now.
I feel like everything we've done so far has just opened up more questions.
What
Generally
are
speaking.
Ruby, Ash, and Briar thinking about this?
Well, that's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Ruby doesn't say anything out loud and is internally processing how death is interweaving with her patron and conflicting with her patron.
Yeah, I
Okay.
thought of that too with all the spider webs, and I was like, oh.
I thought maybe might this be a friend?
I don't know, we haven't heard from that friend in a while. I know Ruby has heard from them a
Well,
lot
Aldrin,
more recently.
Aldrin, you got a sense that this was two different beings. That one of them was like physically in the void, in the gaps between the cracks in the walls, and the
That's
other
the
was
one that I
next to
meant.
you.
That's the one that I meant might be a friend. It's the one that was in the void and the cracks.
Hmm.
Like, who knows what kind of power they might have if they can whisper from there, if the webs reach farther than we can comprehend. And if it's going through a spiritual plane and not the reality plane, then it could be touching on things that we don't even know about.
Maybe Merlin, if we find him in the next city, will be able to give us a little more insight.
Maybe he'll know who the fella in red was.
For anyone taking notes, he said out loud that his name is Sema.
Sam.
Now it's Victor and Isabel's time to rest. As the rest of you take watch, what do you think that Victor and Isabel are doing while they're, getting their heads down?
Normally Victor would kind of sleep like fitfully and stuff
Mhm.
while he has stuff on his mind, but I think after he kind of joined some like connected some dots and such during downtime, and they've now seemingly resolved the Sandman situation as best as they can, and they seem to have a direction and a whole purpose. For now, he will probably just kind of crash, because he doesn't sleep very well very
Yeah.
often. So I think now his mind is not at ease, but it's not going as quickly, because
Yeah.
he's not trying to figure stuff out, so he can finally like switch off and
Cool.
get a proper
Where do
full
you think your mind
sleep.
rests on?
Still me, sorry.
Yeah.
I think perhaps back to his childhood friend, and
Arelli.
yeah, maybe just kind of running back through like memories of when they were younger.
Okay.
Like of them kind of playing and like fighting and pulling little pranks on each other and stuff. Like
Okay. Give me a wisdom save.
Sure. Oop.
Wonder if we're going to get another nat 20 and get some more information. You have to honor the nat 20s, y'all. You have to honor the nat 20s. Someone gets a nat 20 on a wisdom save, especially when they've only got a fucking Jesus Christ, another fucking nat 20.
Let's go.
Wow. Okay.
Don't say those things
So
out loud, you
I was
silly
just saying that Aldrin has a +0 to wisdom and got a nat 20, which was a full 20. And fucking Victor has a +1 and gets a nat 20 and gets a 21. Fuck my life.
Let's go.
Okay.
Dumb people
So-
with nat 20s.
Dumb people with nat 20s. Well, not dumb, just unwise. Unwise people.
Yeah, unwise.
Oh my god. Yeah, and Lex giving another 2 grand into the Critters Rise challenge. Soon the critters will be leveling up. Don't forget that you can put 2k in every session. Lex is up to 16k now. So, ooh, Mars giving 18k. Look at that. Mars is committed. Mars wants this thing done. Okay.
I'd give you the rest right now if I could.
So, Victor starts thinking back, and you have this thought in your mind of the orphanage. And you start seeing that vision that you had once before of all of the kids around you listening in at story time. And you remember in the last vision that one of the kids got up and walked off into a different room. But this time a different child stands up. This one's Areli, who stands up and walks off into the corridor and looks behind her over her shoulder at you, as she then slowly walks off around the corner, out of your vision.
Hello.
You get to the doorway and you see that she has walked to the staircase and is about to head down the staircase. You can hear the creak of wood as she continually steps onto another step and another step and another step.
Stairs. Am I able to see what's at the bottom?
Or
would I know?
You remember that at the bottom was like a coat and a hat rack and a little cubby hole for underneath the stairs where they would keep, like muddy boots and stuff.
Right.
And that then around the corner was like a pantry for the kitchen that many of you went on midnight raids to try and steal some food from. It's kind of where you got your beginnings as a rogue. And yeah, you know that Areli is on the way down, but that there's like a little bit off down a short walk from there towards where the exit is, the front and the rear.
She saw me, right?
Yeah, she's looking behind you and sort of. She's not smiling, but she's not looking terrified or anything like that. She's just sort of like plain face, sort of amenable kind of look on her face.
Looking behind me, sorry.
Looking behind her at you.
Oh,
She's
right.
looking over her shoulder towards you.
Cool. Okay. Then I will keep following, but I'm going to attempt to catch up with her. So I'm going to speed up a little.
You get to the point where you're at the top of the stairs, and you look over the balustrade, and you see that you see her foot just disappear underneath as she walks beyond your sight now. You'd have to keep walking down the stairs. So as you try and rush up to catch to her, and you go down the stairs to the bottom, you see that she's gone out of one of the back doors. The door is just swinging to and creaking in the wind. It's twilight outside at this point because it's getting on towards bedtime. It's not the kind of time that an adult might stay up to. This is the kind of time that an adolescent would have the stories read to them so that they could go to bed at a reasonable time. So it's still relatively light out. You can see things that are going on. And you see that there's a little gap in the trees outside when you get to the back door. And this gap in the trees, she stood there. And she's in a nightdress and everything, but she's stood there. And she sort of waves over to you and beckons you towards her with a hand. And then runs off towards the forest next to the orphanage.
Look quickly over my shoulder at the orphanage and then chase after her.
Okay. When you get to where she is headed, you can smell some kind of spice in the air. You smell that there's something sweet nearby. Something, I don't know. It smells like a bakery. It smells like really strongly of a bakery. Which is not the first time that you've smelt something like this, but it is the first time that you've felt like it's an intoxicating smell. Like this is such the kind of smell that you just can't get enough of and you want to find out where it is. It just so happens that she's headed in that same direction.
again, I'll continue to follow. I'm gonna be like keeping an eye out because I'm protective, I think,
Mm-hmm.
of her. So I'm gonna be watching out for like general kind of woodland threats, like I don't know, like wolves and
Okay.
such.
Give me a perception check. Okay. You do see some things. You see that there is like a smoke that's coming up into the darker blue sky. This sort of royal blue that's going into indigo and down into deep red, deep blues and reds as the sun dips under the horizon for the first time in the evening, and you you see that there is like a snow topped building nearby that you can just see past the tree line. And just as you get close to it, you've not been here before. This is new ground for you. As you get close to it, you see that it's not snow, it's frosting. This house is giant, but it's made of what looks to be baked treats. And oh god, do you want to go close? But just as you have that thought and that feeling, and you're about to emerge from out of the tree line looking for Arelli, you feel a cold hand grab you on the arm.
I'm gonna whip round to face it.
It's Arelli. She stood in the trees. She's sort of down on in like a low crouch, and she's trying to stop you from going out into the tree line. You see.
I see. I thought you'd gone in already.
Oh no. I come here to watch. I always come here to watch.
What is it?
It's a witch. She lives in there. She eats children.
Oh, I was about to ask if she was friendly.
Isn't it weird?
Yes, very, very. That quite scary, actually. Maybe we should tell somebody.
No. No, we don't need to do that.
You don't think?
No. I have a plan.
Okay. Care to share, or am I just following?
Well, I learned recently about this, it's like a secret code that you can write things in that others won't be able to read it. Something can't. Something can't. Thieves can't, that's it. Thieves can't. I learned about it. You should. I've been trying to swat up on what these things mean. I've just seen like words and letters scrawled in things around everywhere, and I don't really know what it means, but I'd really like to know more about it so that we can write it on the outside of her house one night. It might warn kids away, you know? Might save some people.
Yes. Do you know where we would find out about it?
You should come find me.
I mean, we're together now. Can we not go now?
You should come find me.
Where?
She grabs you by the shoulders and looks you directly in the face. You should come find me.
I would like to come and find you, but I will need a little direction.
Read the signs and find me. And you wake up.
Okay.
I
write that in my notebook, basically.
Good stuff.
So I don't forget anything.
Isabel, last but not least, as you're about to dip off into sleep, what do you think that you're thinking of as you drift off into this lovely, lovely time?
I think death is on my mind a bit. I mean,
Fair enough.
I'm over a little bit of the worry of Olakoi.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, well, it's not gone, but it's a lot better than it was. But I remember about that. I'm been thinking about my family's history, and I'm thinking
Mhm.
about Ambrosia, right?
Yeah.
I remember being told some stuff on that,
Hmm.
and I'm just trying to dig into my memory. And I think while I'm thinking about it, I drift to sleep, and maybe something comes up. I don't know.
Okay. Give me a wisdom save. Please don't let this be another nat 20, because I'm going to have to pull something else out of my arse.
Oh, don't worry, you're fine.
You don't have a you don't particularly have an unrestful night. You do wake up feeling rested, but there is something that you feel like happened in your dream. You're not quite certain what it was, but you can't remember it for the life of you.
Gosh,
There's just
not one of those
something that
things.
happened there. Where it's just like as you wake, if Ruby were to share this, it would be the same kind of feeling that Ruby would have had. But obviously, I don't know whether Ruby would have mentioned that. I think that what you actually said was that you didn't. But yeah, you sort of wake up and feel like, oh, something happened, and I just can't, I couldn't tell you what. But you wake up feeling rested regardless.
Would I have thought it was important, but unfortunately, forgetful dreams happen?
Hard to say. It's hard to say when you've got a piece missing. It's hard to know what shape that piece is sometimes.
Well, that sucks.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like a jigsaw where you can definitely say, well, those are the edges. This is a bit more metaphorical than that. Metaphysical, even. So, you all wake up. It's now daytime. You have rested the night through. You each have woken up feeling various kinds of rested. And you are still 1/4 mile away from the border wall. Those of you who wish to share any information with each other, you're welcome to do it now if you want.
I have nada to report.
Also, nothing here.
Okie doke. Well, the info dumps that we had from Aldrin have happened, and now some of you are a bit more clued into what the stranger, what you've been calling the spider, what the nature of their realm might be. Mars also, as Eldrin, has had this conversation with Olakoi and with Death as Olakoi, and the two of them have, given you a little bit more insight into what is to come. That when the time comes to collect your souls, that the this avatar of death will be the one to collect you. But that what happens between then and now, they're gonna keep you in mind. The fact that you restored their brother to life. So, what that means for you, you don't know. But at least it's a step in the right direction. And at least now Aldrin also has an idea of the proper customs and rituals which are as ancient as time itself, being that this is a demigod who just told you what the ancient customs should be, to dispose of those ashes in a source of running water. Now's the question. Do you want to go further into Highfall? Do you want to find a way to the ethereal plane? Or do you want to find your way to a city?
I'm still set on a city myself.
Yeah,
Okay.
I really do think we need to turn ourselves in.
We need to get this
I'm
off
with
our-
Ash. We need to turn ourselves in.
All right then.
But why are we running? We didn't even do anything.
Yes.
No, we didn't at all.
People are quick to judge.
We were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Okay. Do you think that you would be headed over the border wall back over to Kashala Port then?
Going
I
to
mean, is there a
The
faster?
city closest with a Merlin tower was. Sorry, which one again? W something?
White
Was that-
Scar, I believe,
White
White
Sky.
Sky.
That's
which is
there.
northeast.
That is going to be west of where you are.
Okay, the opposite direction. Sorry, I
Entirely, yes.
Good job.
You're still a bit
Entirely.
tired. I'm gonna go this way. Did you just turn around? No, this way.
We need to go
Sure, you're a rogue,
east.
not a
Yes,
shatter.
that's the way I meant.
Sure,
I
sure.
yes, I
We believe
slipped
you.
in
We
the
believe you.
snow. Yes.
Right. Well, I think I might even have the map somewhere so that I can show you exactly what the map is that I'm talking about. But let me just see if I can find that, so I can show you what I mean by all this. I don't actually know whether I've got it here, actually. Yeah, I don't. I haven't got it ready. And I don't like showing my folder chaos on stream, so we're not going to go through that. Okay, well, yeah, essentially you are on the southeast corner of this continent. There is an island nation over a short patch of water with a broken bridge that leads towards it. That is Gorizont. The border wall between you and Sithmaru, which is the nation before you reach the Red Wall, is north, and the Red Wall itself is to the west. Sithmaru is really quite a small nation that's more sort of northeast pocket. So if you wanted to go straight towards Kashala, you just need to head straight west. So the White Scar is just a little bit north of there. So it's up to you whether you want to go through Kashala Port or if you want to go over the mountains to the White Scar.
I feel like going the way that we know would be safer.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to
I'm
be.
happy to help
Unless you
you
all
guys
want to
through.
see like new stuff.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
just
happy to
saying.
guide you guys through the mountains.
I'm
It's more
just.
familiar to me than I think to you guys.
I'm just saying.
I
If we
mean,
could.
can you?
Sorry.
No, go shit.
I'm just thinking, if we're wanting to turn ourselves in, wouldn't it be best to not get caught by something else, and just turn ourselves in at a destination we hope to be, if that makes sense. We might get caught in Kashana.
We can go around
I don't think we
around
should
the
go
outskirts
backwards.
once we know the way.
I
They
don't think
just
we
don't
should go
forget-
backwards. They said that nobody ever comes back from over here. And I think it'd be pretty weird if we just pop back over there.
Oh, that's a good
I
point. I
agree.
forgot
And
about that.
don't forget, there are guards that have been on our tail since we were at the dairy. That's what nobody told us. So if we double back, that may not be our wisest option if we want to turn ourselves in without ensuing a fight.
I think we should move forward but not go back.
So the White Scar is what you called it?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
White Scar.
You will need to go through a border wall at some point, unless you can find a break in it.
I could get my axe out and try and figure it out. I'm only kidding. I'm not going to try that.
And Ruby,
Have
you know the landscape better than us?
I can roll a survival check to see if I can't like notice a path that was traveled.
I was about to say that Ruby could potentially do something similar, especially from having been in the mountains.
Mm-hmm. What
So-
exactly is it that you're trying to do?
Pat, what were you thinking?
I wanted to see if there were any like footprints or anything like that. Any kind of tracks, like even animal tracks, that would kind of lead like a safe passage through the scar or through where we're heading to.
Right.
Because
okay.
what people may not know about it, animals would.
Okay.
Are you meaning like, is there a gap in the wall that an animal is using that a human's not using? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Give me a survival check then.
Ruby is gonna help. So
Oh, no.
You can roll it
help
again
action
then.
for that.
No tracks that you can see here, no.
All right, then I'll help Ruby with what Ruby's doing.
I'm sorry, I need to go stretch for a
Ruby-
bit. But I need to stretch for a bit. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Ruby as B asks the DM, in terms of traveling through the mountains to get to White Scar, I'd like to do a check on in terms of knowing the best route. So whether that maybe fits in survival or maybe survival. It's not going to be history, is it? It's not academic history. On knowing what route to take.
Just for
I want to try and do
clarity,
that.
in general D&D stuff, I've just put the map for you all.
Thank you.
So there's the map in the general D&D stuff chat in the Discord, where you can see at the bottom there where the river comes up. You can see where the White Scar is. Just underneath the title that says the Red Wall at the foot of those mountains. So Kashala Port is where you were, where there is a big cove that a bunch of ships would have come through, in through that cove, past the peninsula, and they would have ported there in the calm waters of Kashala Port. That's why it's such a sought-after port place, because it's just very calm seas. The city that's beyond it, at the foot of the mountains, would be the White Scar. If you wanted to go from where you are and pass through Kashala Port, then you could get to the White Scar without having to go through the mountains at the base mountain level. If you went around, you would either have to go around the water and get close to Gorizont and go the south way up through the river, or you would have to go through a short mountain range to the north of the White Scar to get that way. Hope that makes sense.
So I am asking about that north route. So
Yes.
like a survival check based on Ruby's knowledge of Red Wall, the mountains, and the best path to get there to White Scar. I imagine with its location, she's probably been there before. You're welcome to correct on that.
History check with
basically,
advantage.
History with advantage. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. We're so the same person.
Louise.
We both go wow. Okay, so that's a 5 and a 4. Which you add 0 to, so that is a 5.
Was that my help action too?
Yeah. I rolled that with advantage.
Yeah, you don't stack advantages, and I was going to give advantage anyway because you would have most likely been that way. I think that you probably have been that way, Ruby, but you couldn't necessarily chart it on a map or really recall it particularly well. So I think that you would be relying on your instincts just the same as anybody else would be in that situation. It's really your call whether you want to guide people through that area without prior knowledge of it so much. Or at least prior knowledge that can be applied to a practical situation, you know?
Okay.
Hey, Max!
So,
Welcome
Ruby
in,
will say
Max!
this to the group.
Max. How you doing?
I have
Good day?
some awareness of the mountain route going north, but it is less familiar to me than other parts of the range. If we go south, then do we potentially need to consider hugging the coastline or even going by boat? I don't know about you lot, but
Good, I'm
our
glad.
last boat experience was
Not fun.
The group are just deciding what they're gonna do to get themselves turned
fun
into
in some
authorities.
ways, but less fun in others. I don't know what your thoughts are on whether you'd rather be wet or dry.
Yeah, I'd rather not be wet, please.
I find that I'm leaning towards the mountain pass. Because
I know
feel
it
like
kind
we
of,
should
right?
just stay away from the port.
You've had some
Stay away from the
interesting
port.
run-ins with boats as well, haven't you? Especially with the one that you exploded.
Exactly. So if in response to Aldrin and Ash sort of thinking about the mountain pass, Ruby turns to Isabel, Briar, and Steen. Is like, I can do my best. How do you guys feel about going back to the mountains?
I trust you.
Yeah, Isabel the player, like the player character, Bri the player character, and Steve the actual player. Steve's just stood there with his sketchbook and pencil, like, wait, what the fuck?
Hear a voice.
Where am I? I've been transported.
Oh fuck! I've got to be a rogue now.
Did I suddenly say? Did I say
You said
C, not
Steve, yeah.
Victor?
You said Steve.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I like the idea
didn't say anything.
that you're still wearing the belt of Steve. So that's why
Yeah,
I said C.
yeah.
That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with.
I
Nice.
pat the belt and I'm like, oh, let me take this thing off. And I take the belt off and pass it back to Ruby.
Well,
Nice.
that was a bit of a hullabaloo there, Victor.
yeah.
So we're going to the mountain pass.
Isabel's still in a stretch break, so we're just gonna give them a moment. But you can talk to Briar and Victor still.
Yes, I think you know the area best, so it's safest to follow you, and I trust all of you. So whatever the group decides.
Okay. I am going to still say that there is a border for you to cross. It's not going to be the same border crossing that you had before, but there will need to be some part of this wall encountered, unless you are planning on using magical means or, you know, flying over the damn thing, or tunneling under it, or driving through it. Whatever you want to do, there's going to be at some point a wall to have to pass if you're going the north way. So what are your plans about dealing with the wall? In it, like particularly the wall, not well. We want to go the north way. Like, what are you actually going to do about the wall?
Hey, who
You'll
has
have
passed
the
without
data
trace? I
solver.
can't remember.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Who has passed without trace?
I believe Ash can make us stealthier, right?
Ash.
We're not all the
Hello,
way through.
Ash.
I can hear little bits, though the mic is playing up, maybe.
Maybe. Brian, we were asking whether you have passed without trace. Anybody who has
I
passed without trace.
do.
Because the plan is
don't
going
think
to the
I
wall.
do.
You don't think you do? Okay.
I do have it.
You do? Nice. Well, let's. I could just confirm this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it was Ash who cast it when we
Yeah.
were originally.
Yeah,
from
Briar
Ops.
doesn't have it. Briar doesn't have it.
No, I don't. I think it's a druid thing.
Why are a lot of
I
my
have
spells like
levitate.
doubled on here?
It's because of the 1D&D new version thing, where all of the spells have been quote unquote improved in their entirety. They've gone through everything. Wizards of the Coast have supposedly improved all of the spells. We're still using 5th edition, and I don't take 1D&D as being also 5th edition. It's not, to me. It's a new edition. So we use legacy spells. So if there is a duplicated spell and the duplicate has a version that says in brackets legacy, then use the legacy, please.
Okay. I want to, before our long rest is completely over, I wanted to load 2 Pass Without Trace if we do decide to go south.
Okie doke.
Because those are level 2 spells, and it can hold up to level 5.
Yeah. I will allow it. That feels a little gamey to me, but I'll allow it because we've already passed the long rest at this point.
That's all I was going to load, though.
That's fine. So you get this loaded into your ring. We head north from where you are because you're going to go towards the mountain pass and not down towards the waterline. And you end up at another part of the wall. I, strangely enough, don't have multiple instances of exactly the same map. So I've cordoned off the part where there is a border crossing at the top, and this is the exact same wall as you were at before, in terms of map. You can just argue that you are a little bit further away from the wall than you are currently. But this is essentially the whole thing. And Grammy coming in with 1,500 bits. For the love of fucking God, Grammy. Thank you so much, Grammy. That's insane. You are a Pog champ.
You wild bean.
You are a Pog
Love
champ.
you.
You are a champ of the Pogs. Thank you very much. That's completely thrown me off. So you are approaching the wall. At what point do you decide to throw out the pass without trace?
Probably
Just so we can get an idea of timing.
right around here. If we're coming up from this way, like from the south going up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably cast it right here so anybody on the barricades wouldn't see us.
Pass without trace. It lasts for up to an hour.
Let me hit that button.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Wait, does Grammy stream? You didn't answer me.
Does Grammy stream? Not for a while. They are an affiliate, but they do not stream currently.
Okay. I was gonna give them a shout out for the 1,500 biddies.
Yeah, man. I give Grammy shout outs all the time. Grammy's amazing. Okay, so you cast Pass Without Trace on everybody. Now for everybody's stealth checks, you will get a bonus 10 to your check. So you now have that amazing bonus to help you with all of your stealth. Thank you, Blessing35. Welcome in. You are my 301th follower. 301th, 301st.
So you said it's plus 10, right?
Plus 10. So when you do your roll, click, and it comes up asking advantage, normal, disadvantage, it will ask you in a box, you can type in a bonus. Just type in there 10.
Oops.
And then it will calculate it automatically for you.
40.
Yes, so that would be 40 for Victor.
So plus 10.
But I don't think I can roll higher than that.
I don't think you can. Impossible is rated as 30, and you got a 40, so that's pretty impressive. Aldrin got a 31, Isabella 26.
How are we doing that?
Ash got an 18. So when you click on stealth to roll it, and it comes up with the prompt box that says, do you want to do this with advantage, normal, or disadvantage? There's a little box that you can type in above it, where you just type in 10, and it gives you that auto calculation. That's how you add bonuses to stuff. Okay, so the lowest roll that we've got so far is 18. So on a group stealth check, considering that you two are plus 10, so that's a 31 and a 40. The middle number, 18, 24, 26, the middle number is 26. So a group check is going to be based on a 26 stealth roll. And we're going to go from one of these dudes, if I can just get their thing up. Just need to go stat blocks. Hang on. There we go. Right. Oh, for the love of God. Give me a stat block, you prick. Alright, there we go. Okay, so they are going to be doing perception checks because they are scouts. It is their whole deal. They will be looking out and around, and they do have keen hearing and sight, which means that they have advantage on perception checks that rely on hearing or sight. They are the scout build. They are basically longbow carrying, short sword carrying, multi-attacking motherfuckers. They will be looking for you, and they have expertise in perception, which means that their bonus here is a +5. They have advantage. They have a +5. It is unlikely that they can beat a 26, but we're still going to give them a go to see whether they can get a nat 20. There are 2 of them on this wall. They're both going to be rolling, both with advantage. If any one of these rolls is a nat 20, then they will see you. If it's not, and it's anything from 19 and below, then you will not be seen. And we can do the rest of it with you essentially shrouded in secrecy and darkness. So, first roll. First scout gets an 11. This guy up here. next guy on the top of this tower, and we'll change this to be a public roll so you can all see this. They are going to roll perception with advantage. One final time. They get a 23, but it is not a nat 20, nor does it beat a 26. So, in fact, you do manage to pass without trace, even in the daylight. Oh, there's another scout up there. I forgot about him. Forgot about that. Let's just do another one. Okay, 13. Yeah, so you do manage to pass without trace, even in the daylight. There are, you know, crenellations in the wall. There are, it's stacked. It's like, imagine like the, like a stone keep, but it's just a fucking huge keep. Like, imagine that someone had built this entire country as if it was one giant castle. And this is its outer border. You can't really see a great deal of cracks or breaks in it because it is new. But there are places where you might be able to get a foothold and climb over. You've managed to get your stealth roll on this side of the wall. When you get to the other side of the wall, we'll have one final stealth roll to see if you're able to pass across the big, wide open expanse undetected. So, I just need athletics checks from everybody. You just need to beat a 15 to be able to climb up and over this wall. So, athletics, a 15.
no.
Unless you have other means of getting over.
I was about to
I'll
say, I think
spend-
I can just climb walls, can't I?
Yeah,
How tall
you
is the
can.
wall?
Yeah, you can. You can.
Yeah, I can just climb the wall. I won't
Because
run.
you're a tabaxi. Yeah, you're a tabaxi. So.
I could do an athletics check.
You
and
have a
if I
climb
fail, I'll
speed.
just fly over.
So Briar has sort of tried to grab at it and just slipped from the fingertips. Isabel manages it. Ash manages it. Who else do we
That's a
need?
straight 19, by
Does
the way.
anyone?
Victor.
I was gonna say before everyone rolled, could like
Mhm.
since I can just climb a wall, can I potentially give help to someone?
You could give the
on
help
this,
action
but
to
everyone's
somebody,
rolled.
yeah.
So it's retroactively. Could I help Briar or Victor with their athletics roll, please?
You get to the top of the wall, just put both of your paws out.
And I'm gonna pass Ruby some rope to take up.
That works for me.
So
I'll
you
help
can
you, Victor.
effectively help both of us if you're holding a rope, I would imagine.
Both or Ash flies, so
Yeah.
Roll.
I
Can
can help
Aldrin
Briar.
levitate themselves just
Oh, yeah.
over the wall?
So Aldrin levitates, great. Just yeah, throw out the levitate. There you go.
Yep.
Once I get to the top,
okay.
I'll throw a rope down to Briar.
So Victor manages to climb over with the rope. What ropes do is they give you advantage on your athletics checks. So what Steve has done there is absolutely right. Just roll it again. So yeah, Briar, if you just want to roll that again.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were talking to me. Athletics again?
Yes, please. Just a flat one. There you go. 17.
There we go.
You all managed to make it over the wall
job.
okay. By different means than others at points. But you are now here on this side of the wall. Now, to cross this open ground, I'm just going to wonder, you know, what exactly is it that you're doing? And then we will do your stealth roll based on that. Like, how are you trying to avoid the sight of these scouts who are, by and large, looking in this direction and now have a different sense of things?
in truth, I don't know how group we want to do it, but Ruby can zoomy across and basically like go behind the trees that are at the end because
Mhm.
of step of the wind and tabaxi speed stuff. So
Love
that's
it, love
what
it.
Ruby would do
Yeah, yeah.
as an individual. Obviously, that can't take the group with me.
Are
What's
the
everyone else
guys
doing?
all within a radius of each other? Like, are they in a 20-foot cube, all of them, or are they, like, dotted along the wall?
Oh, they're dotted along the wall.
Oh, okay.
So first guy is 60 feet away from second guy, and second guy is
Okay.
55 feet away from third guy. So
Okay,
they are dotted
and-
along the wall. Yeah.
How far do we have to go?
You're crossing out in the open space. It's like, I don't know, maybe 300 feet until you get to like a a lift in the terrain that you can hide over.
Okay, so like a misty step isn't gonna get me very far.
10 misty steps might, if you want to do that.
10,
Just
alright.
like blink across every 6
Blink, blink,
seconds.
blink.
Yeah, every 6 seconds you just blink another distance. Poof. Give me a minute. Poof. Okay, give me a minute.
Just hold on, let me take a 4-hour long rest.
Guards!
in
Guards!
the
They seem to be
meantime.
stopping every 6 seconds. We can just wait and fire when they
Play
stop.
Red, red light, green light, okay?
Yeah, red light, green light. Perfect. Yeah, that's red lantern, green lantern.
Oh gosh.
Okay. So you managed to make it. You managed to make it this far. We've got someone who wants to teleport the whole fucking way. Got
Well,
someone else who's
I
gonna
was
do
just
zoomies.
Asking how far are we going, and like, would this ever possibly work? No,
Okay.
okay, I'm not going that far with it, so I just
I-
gotta sneak.
I love the hilarity of everybody's decisions so far. I'm gonna cut straight to Victor, who is the rogue of the group, and see exactly how it should be done. Rogue,
show it.
Victor,
Wow.
what would you like to
Wow.
do here?
Favoritism.
Is a cat running real quick gonna be stealthy, or someone poofing every 6 seconds?
You can't see me. I'm so fast.
Sure, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's why I was asking how far we had to
Does it
go.
snow?
What? Sorry.
The problem
How
is
deep
that
is
as
the
soon as
snow?
How people keep talking when you're talking. Nobody
Sorry.
but Victor speak for a moment. Victor, what's your question?
How deep is the snow?
How deep is the snow? Okay. It's probably up to your ankles. It's thick.
Okay.
It's like
not
long-standing as
Crawl
well.
underneath. Okay. Then I'm gonna. I have a magical cloak of sneaky aboutiness.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I will wrap myself in my cloak.
So you just
and-
get advantage on your stealth rolls then,
Hmm.
and
And
people
from,
that people
from
that
a
are looking
nearby
for
tree-
you get disadvantage on checking for you as well.
That's right. I'm gonna kind of shake a little snow off the tree onto kind of my hood and my shoulders,
Nice.
just to try and blend in with the snow a little from above, and then wrap my cloak around me and.
Nice.
Um,
So
move
we'd
nice
agreed
and-
before, hadn't we, that in group stealth checks, that the enemy, if you're doing a group stealth check, then the enemy can't have disadvantage on you, but advantage on everybody else, you know? Because it's weird that it works that way. So if you stealth on your own away from the group, then we can treat yours as a single roll and everybody else as a group. If that's what you want for the advantage.
I will move away just to make it clearer.
Okay. So
yeah.
so what Victor has done, just to be clear, is Victor has looked around at everybody and been like, okay, cat running quick, teleportation, I'm gonna fuck over here and do my own thing.
Kind
And
of,
Victor does that.
He's gonna wait until everyone else gets seen by the guards. and then
Yeah.
stealthily make his way across.
Absolutely, you are. Yeah. Okay, well, so let's just go for Victor's roll first then, since we know what Victor's going to do at the very least. So this is with advantage. 23, not bad.
No.
And we'll do their perception checks. Now, they would have disadvantage, but they also get advantage on this. So those cancel out and they become normal rolls. So that is a 9, and then I guess they've all got the same stats, so I could just roll them from the same character sheet. So that's a 9, a 6, and a 17. So they are beaten by your stealth on all 3. So Victor is on his own. He's sort of moved up. He's waiting for everyone to move. He's going to follow behind. He's getting everything dealt with the tree. It's hard for even you guys to see Victor at this point. Your passive perception doesn't go that well. What are the rest of you going to be doing? What's Briar and Isabel and Ash going to be trying their way to stealth with?
I mean, I'm a giant blue bird, so
Yeah,
Well,
Lex,
shit.
we just don't do it that way because it's too complicated to have to
Into
calculate all
like
that.
a bracket or
So
something.
I've discussed this with Victor before because you can't
A little
you
snow.
can't have disadvantage
Yeah.
on someone finding you as part of a group.
I mean,
if
I
you're
or
can't
in
just
a
a
group.
mouse. That's really small.
Something
I
that
was
would be
gonna say a gnat, but like it's cold, so I'd probably die.
That's probably like half a HP that decays over time. Okay.
You
Yeah.
just
Be
see,
a mouse and then
Ash
like
puff out the air and
tuck
died.
yourself into someone's jacket.
I mean, to be fair, there are midges that are basically gnats that exist in very cold Scotland, and they're all over the place. They're like miniaturized, what do you call it? Mosquitoes. They bite everybody. So
Again, it's
they exist in the cold,
so-
and the native, the largest native creature in the Arctic region is the largest native land creature is a kind of midge. They are flightless. They are land creatures. They're a tiny little insect that exists in the Arctic. No, the Antarctic.
Really?
The Antarctic.
I was gonna
They're
say you
cute.
don't mean the largest native creature in
Land
the Arctic. I was
creature.
like, polar.
Land creature.
Yeah, because a polar bear exists. So you mean
Yeah,
Antarctic? Then?
Antarctic, yeah. Because
And we're ignoring
penguins spend most of their time
Super
like
tippy top
in the
cold.
water or on water. They don't spend their time on the land most of the time. They're not counted as native land creatures. They're sea creatures. They're birds,
Well,
but they're in.
seeing as I
I'm
haven't-
not gonna have this argument on stream, but I will argue with it at training on another day.
It's on QI. Go and argue with the BBC. Don't come for me, motherfucker.
Ooh.
Well,
I have a
I'm just gonna
degree in
turn-
I have a degree in animals, but
Sure.
I'll leave it there.
Argue with BBC. Next,
I'm just gonna turn into a little white bunny.
Ash turns into a bunny. Briar, what are you doing? Jesus Christ, that's a big blurb.
I am sorry, I just hit it.
Wow.
That fucking
Even
that
with-
fills the chat.
Even with my boots of elven kind,
Uh-huh.
I think I'm like there's no really way to quiet male armor, so I don't really know other than having the pass without a trace. I don't really know how I can stealth. How deep is the snow? Can I do like a Bugs Bunny situation?
Okay.
Like,
So that's
crawl
what
through it.
Victor was asking. That's what Victor was asking. It's only up to your ankles, so you would have your
Okay,
arse stuck
no.
out of the top, and you'd probably get
Yeah.
hypothermia from going face first into the snow for 300 feet of crawling.
So, can Aldrin put the middle guy to sleep?
The guy on the tower?
Yeah, the guy on the tower.
You could try.
It's within range, I think. Because it's a 90-foot range.
Yeah. So you need to roll for the HP that is affected. So you gotta you've gotta roll the HP affected to see whether that gets it. Okay. So you roll your sleep. You throw your sleep dust. What's it look like as you do this?
Aldrin is just taking this little balled up spell and tossing it up this tower
Mm-hmm.
at this guy and trying to knock him out, thinking kind of about Olakoi as they're doing it, because they're like, hopefully this puts you to sleep, and hopefully you have a good dream.
Give me a luck roll. You want call
luck
it first. Call it first. Just a flat D20 or any even number. Tell me whether you want evens or odds.
Odds.
Okay, and then roll a D20.
roll
You
D20,
want
yes,
odds. You want
Face-
odds. Okay, so he falls off the tower as he passes out. Now roll me a D4. A 1 will be north, a 2 will be east, a 3 will be south, a 4 will be west. So he falls forwards off the tower, down here. It's a 50-foot tower. He is falling, and you need to try and make sure that he does die from the fall, because otherwise he will be woken up by the start hitting the ground.
Oh no.
So it's a d6 for every 10-foot fallen. Normally, I say that the first 20 feet is cancelled out because any normal person can land IRL 20 feet and still relatively be okay from it and walk away kind of unscathed and not take permanent damage. Because he's completely unconscious, this will just be 5d6. He has 16 HP. When you rolled your 18, you were 2 over the threshold. The maximum that he could roll here in terms of damage is 30. So he needs to get just over half for this to fully kill him. 19. So as you make him fall asleep, he falls off the tower to the west side of it, falls and breaks his neck against the ground, and dies silently in the snow.
No.
There are still 2 people on the wall watching. But one guy is now dead. So that's great.
He was just supposed to go to sleep. Oh no. I think we should hurry.
Oh dear.
Did have an idea, but I think it's gone out the window now.
Does anyone have like a cast an illusion or anything like that that could just try and distract them from a dead body and you guys running?
Yes.
I mean, how
I
many
can
people
cast
are
that
in the-
there's mischief on one of them.
I can. How far away is my closest person that's alive?
How many times could I cast command back to back? Could I affect both of them? if I
Victor is
cast it?
stood in a tree just like face palming at the fact that you just made a man plummet to his death.
Is where
Hey, we're gonna confuse the
Yeah,
At least he
I
died
feel
in
like
his sleep.
Rudy's at like
At least he
Ruby's
died in
at
his
like the
sleep.
other end. Like, what the hell is happening? Oh, I haven't
Wait,
moved my
where's the
token.
other
Ruby's
guy?
at like the other
Down
end.
here?
Like, what the fuck?
My
Is my
idea-
mic working?
Yes, can hear you. You're a
Yes.
little off though.
I mean, my
Okay.
idea was
Where's the other guy?
I was gonna ask how
yeah.
many people, or how many spells I could cast back to back, because I could like
Hiding.
command. I could use command.
So essentially, it's whatever the time is. If it says that it's an action, then it would be every 6 seconds.
okay.
Okay.
Where are the other 2 guards? I guess it's the other 2 guards, right?
Because every round of combat canonically is 6 seconds in that world. So a
So
full round of combat with everybody acting is just 6 seconds start to finish.
So then I could possibly use command twice.
Yeah.
one-
What range do you have on that? What's the range on command?
30 feet.
So you would need to get close to each one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are the guards? Sorry. The ones that are alive?
So let me just mark them on the map for you. One's here, and one's up here.
Aldrin, if you want to get the one at the top, I could charm another one.
Sure.
I charm person. He might remember us, but he won't act now.
Also, just as
I'm
an
not
aside,
sure
by
this
the way,
spell will go that far.
the Critters Rise challenge has been completed. By the way,
Let's
you-
go.
Critters have now leveled up by 1. You will all be level 6 at the next session.
We are level 6.
Sweet.
No, you're level 6 in Alandressa. In Critters, you will be level 6.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
So before Monday, everyone needs to level up, or you'll be turning up without your level, and I will just run the session without you leveled. We ain't waiting for people to do it if they've not done it yet. You're just gonna have to do it at level 5. Like if you turn up for swimming, at school without your swimming trunks, you have to do it in your pants. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Okay, so 2 people are going to run this. So we've got, what's this? Nathair's Mischief.
So,
You fill a
yeah.
20-foot cube you can see within range with Fey and Draconic magic. Roll on the mischievous surge table to determine the magic effect produced, and roll again at the start of each of your turns until the spell ends. You can move
Yep.
the cube up to 10 feet before you roll. So,
Yep.
okay. So we need a D4
I know that I
rolled.
can reach the bottom location, but my question is, could I reach the top location that I've marked? I don't know exactly how I managed to have 2 squares. My mouse is also kind of glitching right now, so it's very difficult to control this.
Yes.
Because this mouse is on its way
Nathair's
out the door.
Mischief. You had already used Levitate, so that did stand. So yeah, you've not wasted any extra spell slots. Don't worry.
No. It hasn't used
The
spell
range is
slots.
60 feet.
That's...
The range is 60 feet.
Yeah.
So if you stood where this guy died, then you would be able to reach both.
I mean,
So if you stood here, if you stood there, you are 55 feet away from one and 50 feet away from the other.
And could I activate 2 locations at once? Is that possible?
6 seconds apart.
Okay.
I can do one if you want to save a spell slot.
The problem is that you are holding concentration on one, and you would be dropping that to hold concentration on the other. So you would have one of them work for 6 seconds, and then it would immediately stop, and the other one would then work.
That is why I am.
Alright, so
I'm offering.
Aldrin's gonna go for the top one and leave the bottom one for. Sorry, is it Briar who's talking or Isabel?
That's me.
Okay.
Isabel.
I've got charm person. I can charm one of them.
Okay.
To
So
we're
so
not gonna
Isabel's
do the
gonna
bottom
do.
one. We are gonna do the top one.
I'll do the one closest
Okay.
because it's got 30 range as well.
Right. So Isabel is going to charm guy at the bottom, and Aldrin's going to do this thing at the top, and Briar is going to step in and do command if neither of them work.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to roll a wisdom saving.
Okay. So this will be essentially the surprise condition, so that they would not get around in this combat at the very start. They would just basically have the effect of whatever you're doing to them now happen, and then, you know, if they realize what's going on, then it will trigger a fight. So this guy does a, what is it, a wisdom save?
Yeah.
And what's your DC?
13, I think it says here.
Yep.
13. Okay. Public roll. Rolling it now. He got a 16. He resisted it.
I think he knows as well.
And you need to roll your d4, yeah. So that is a wisdom save or become charmed by you until the end of your next turn. Bouquets of flowers appear all around, and each creature in the cube must succeed on a dexterity on... Oh, that's a different one. The smell of apple pie fills the air. It's really laid out really poorly. The smell of apple pie fills the air, and each creature in the cube must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become charmed. Okay. So this guy needs to succeed on the wisdom save. What is your DC? If you go on the spells tab at the top, it says spell save.
Yeah, we're saving. Wait, not saving throws.
No, go on the spells tab, and then at the top.
Ability attack, spell DC 12.
12. So he needs to get a 12 on a wisdom save. That's a 20. Okay, so neither of them are affected. This guy is like, apple pie?
Like pie.
Apple pie? There's no pie here! This is a famously pieless country.
Uh-oh.
We need help! And he starts shouting. He starts looking up towards the tower for the beacon to be lit, but there's nobody up there now, and he starts getting incredibly suspicious. We are going to resolve this combat at the start of next session, because this session is now over!
By the way, Isabel's first spell today?
Yeah, that was Isabel's first spell.
Oh.
Isabel actually cast a spell for the first time today. That's
amazing.
Let's go. That's awesome. Proud of you.
Yeah. Let's go.
That's amazing.
Hey, Jackal, my friend
Yeah.
Nathaniel says, no, I was just getting into it.
Sorry.
Come back next week.
We do have, we've got VODs on both channels because I'm sure that Tats keeps VODs on Twitch.
I do, except for last week when I wasn't here and I didn't stream it.
Well, I do record them as well and put them out on my YouTube, but you know, we do a recap at the start of every session, so don't feel like you're missing out if you missed something this time, because every time that we have another session on Thursdays, same time, same place, we always, I always start out with a quick recap of what happened last time, and you'll get the basic gist of what's happening, essentially. More or less, these guys started out in a city called Ironfront. They were investigating a crime, and they have been trying to find head or tail of what's been going on. And slowly but surely, they've been finding out more and more information about exactly what is going on. But today, they discovered that the third of 4 protectors of, or even preventers of Ragnarok, have died. They have been murdered. And so there is one preventer left.
Just supposed to go to sleep on the wall.
Yes, the guy who was just supposed to fall asleep because of a narrow tower that's very tall in the snow. Falling asleep on a very tall, narrow tower that's covered in snow is sometimes an unlucky feat. And yes, Aldrin unfortunately rolled evens when they wanted odds on a luck roll, and the guy fell off the tower and died. That might have been the end of it, but instead of stealthing your way out and just telling me what you wanted to do stealth-wise, just to roleplay, like there's a bunch of bushes there, you could have just said, I grab like a branch off the bush and slowly walk my way backwards across the 300 feet. Instead of doing that, a bunch of you were just like, I guess I'm going to kill this guy with sleep now? I guess I'm going to try and charm this dude? I guess I'm just going to, like, make apple pie appear? Like, fucking hell, man.
Confuse until he goes the other way. It didn't work.
What a crazy sequence of events to have happened. But what a session. You managed to get 2 nat 20s. So fucking let's fucking go. Victor and Aldrin getting nat 20s on your sleep and meditation respectively. Aldrin got insights into the underworld and a creature that walks through it, making deals, it seems. And a little bit more of the nature of the friend of yours. And Victor literally saw a friend of his, Aurelie, who said to find her and to look for the signs. So,
can I ask a question about the underworld? Did it have color?
It was no. It was like desaturated, if you like.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. But you kind of get that IRL anyway, to be honest. When you go in a dark place with no real light source, it's kind of all just
Grayed
monochrome. Out. Yeah. So, yeah, more or less that. And we managed to get fucking the Critters challenge completed.
Yeah.
So that's fucking amazing. So now the cryptic critters are all going to level up by 1 level. So please go and do that. As Twisted mentioned in chat, there is somebody else who's joining us. They actually have their character set up on Twisted's account. I've made sure that any new people that are joining are not using your campaign link, Steve, just so that we're not taking up any more slots. So they've got their character sheet set up already. We went through a few of the details earlier and ironed out some stuff. And you'll be interested to see some of their character and backstory choices, I think. Very creative stuff. I love it. But for now...
it's fine.
Well, for now, we're about to end. We're gonna raid, but as I've been liking doing lately, before we do any of that, I would like to ask all of you, do you have anything to plug?
I got something for you to plug, buddy.
Oh, that sounds sus.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh.
that's all right. Consent. No, consent. Okay.
I'm gonna continue streaming. I'm just gonna switch games. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Okay.
I
We're
am
not
doing
alone.
a subathon soon. In
Cool.
2
When's that
weeks.
happening?
In 2 weeks, I gotta get the incentives and everything like written up. But it's
Nice.
my subiversary this month.
Oh wow! How
Nice.
long have you been subbing for? Been affiliate for?
2019 is when I started.
2019. Nice. 5 years. I just did my 4-year one a couple of months back. Oh boy, that was a long time. Do you have a limit on how long you're going to be doing yours for?
Well, with him being here and me having to work, like, I'm just gonna continue to go until people are tired of me.
Nice. Okay, love that. And Mars, you've got your birthday subathon coming up, haven't you?
Yep. December 1st is my birthday subathon. And stream anniversary wise, it would be 2 years for me that I've been on and off
Nice.
streaming. And I haven't
24
quite
months.
done a celebration, so maybe I'll do that as part of it.
Nice.
'Cause I
Nice.
just thought of that. So yeah, that'll be coming up. A whole bunch of games, whole bunch of community games and stuff available, and I want to do some art. So
Yeah.
drawing and maybe even some clay.
Nice.
So yeah,
Love clay.
let's get back to
You're
that.
well. I mean, you're trained in clay, so you know if anyone's going to watch
I
anyone do
took
clay, you got to
courses in
watch.
college. I
Gotta
have
watch
a
Mars do that.
wheel and a kiln in the basement, and I throw and I sculpt. Sculpting though is really what I love to do.
Yeah.
Is making sculptures.
Love that.
I should show you my kraken sometime.
Oh,
Oh,
I thought you
did
were going
a
to say something
kraken
else
taking
entirely
down a
then.
ship.
I was going
No,
to.
I
thought you were going
sculpted out of clay a
I should
kraken
show you my
taking down
crack
a ship.
sometime.
Kraken and big sea creature takes down
Hello.
ships, kills sailors.
Hello,
Release the
Nathaniel.
kraken.
Welcome in. Welcome in, Nathaniel.
Who's this one today?
That's a new one on me. I should I should show you my crack sometime. Okay, moving on. Victor, Steve.
People.
Steve, what's your oh, thank you for the follow, Nathaniel. Steve, you are obviously a very talented artist as well. Is there anything that you want to plug about your artwork?
I'm not really. I mean, I'm working on some stuff, but not anything that's going to be viable soon for anyone to look at.
Yeah.
So it's all good at the moment. I mean, feel free to go and have a poke around on my Instagram and stuff. But other than that, I am working on a big personal project I'm currently drawing a comic book, but like I say, it's going to be early next year before it's even
Comic
close
book.
to release. So yeah, it's going to be a little while yet. So
Yeah, but I love the comic book. What's the
I'll let everybody know.
What?
It's kind of about memories, and it's like dystopian kind of solar punk. It's going to be about memories and like the commodification of human emotion and such.
Wow. Very poignant.
Yeah.
Very poignant.
Yeah,
at the moment.
when I've got a bit more of it worked out, I'll give you a full proper description. But the main
Well,
character's
you
called
guys should go and check out Rat Bastard Illustration on Instagram.
I mean,
E's and no vowels in bastard.
Yeah.
I've
I've put the link in chat. Don't worry. Yeah. So go and check out Rat Bastard Illustration. I follow Steve. I fucking love all of that shit. I don't really put a lot of my artwork onto my Instagram. I only really just recently put a few things on that I've been working on at university as projects. I thought maybe a few people might find them interesting. And honestly, I've got more interest on there from people I wasn't really expecting. So, there we go. Mine is just the same as mine. Mine's just Instagram Jackal Viper. Yes, Shen. Go right ahead, Shen.
Chat of artists here. Some amazing art
100%.
comes from the people in this D&D game, and they're all fabulous.
Speaking of which, Shen.
I mean, I haven't updated my Instagram for a while, but I do have some art on there. and hopefully I
Love
can
that.
put some up soon.
I can't wait to see it.
I mean, okay.
Do you have a what do you call it? Have you got a handle?
Yeah, I think it's at Sheenalee 14.
At Shenley 14.
Yeah, my usual nickname, done 14 on the end.
Okay. So
I
I'm going
think
to
it's
put that
that.
link into chat as well. Shenley 14.
I
Go
believe
and
so,
check
yeah.
that out as well. Need to have a look at that.
I will update, I promise.
Ruby and Briar, anything to tell us about B and Katie?
I don't really put any of my creative projects online. I mostly do guitar and stuff and
Anything else you want to
music.
plug? A cool book you've read or a show that you've been watching? A recommendation?
I watched The English Teacher after seeing so many of the main character and directors and writer. I think he does a lot of the roles in that show. It was pretty good. It was very queer friendly. So if you're into queer focused shows, it's really good. And I recommend it. It's kind of lighthearted with also having like a really great message to it. And pretty funny too. So
Nice.
very, very thematically and politically kind of it's a good temperature
Nice.
without going overboard.
I like that. And B, last but not least.
I'm not sure I have anything in particular to plug.
Anything to
I
recommend?
don't want to dox myself. I'm not going to dox myself. I am in a pantomime, and everyone can enjoy that. But I would dox myself if I said where it is, so I'm not going to do.
Yeah.
I will instead.
Touch of the Amdrams.
I will Yeah, touch the Amdrams. And shock, by the way, guys. Cass is the cat.
Oh, crazy.
I know. I really am just doing well with my cat lady branding. I will shout out. I shouted out my friend Murmurs last week.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell my brain is mush? I'm going to shout out that I'm starting a new job next week. So bear with me if I am overburdened.
Woo! What a way to end!
I have a
Great
new job.
celebration. Love that.
So yeah.
Well, that's a great way to finish. Now, Tats is going to be continuing gaming on their channel.
I just don't know what I'm going to play yet.
So we'll raid Tats then. Tats can raid herself.
Put the Kraken in the chat
raid
so
myself.
you can see it.
Watch me. Here I go. Raiding myself.
Watch me.
Boom. All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here with me, and for being awesome as usual. I am loving doing all of these little shout outs at the end. It's lovely to see everybody's creative works that they're going through, and even just nice, life events like having a good job, or just seeing something cool that they want to share with each other. It's all very awesome stuff, and I can't wait to see more of it. But for now, we are going to go and raid Tats, because Tats is continuing to stream. I'm going to go human for a bit, so enjoy whatever it is that you're going to go and play, Tats. I am going to hop off myself and just try and be human. But for the rest of you, remember that if you can't be good to yourself, then at least have fun. Goodbye!
Enjoy humaning. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you next week.
Bye. Yeah. Hooray.
I'm gonna head
Thanks,
off, guys. I will
everybody.
catch you next week.
Yeah, I need to human as well.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Catch you guys later.
Bye.
Bye. See you